It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 19th of September. It is a Friday. This is the Charlie Block. And for those of you who listen to the future, this show, I already said that, it's Friday the 19th. Man, I'm having a rough morning, John. Pardon my inattention.
Not at all, Brad. We all have those days.
Okay. We are going to make a phone call here, and hopefully my phone is going to work right. I've had some issues with this. Okay. Oh, I hear it already, so it must be working. Okay. Jacquie Vick, who's who we're calling right now. She is a bigwig with the St. Charles version of Habitat for Humanity. Jacquie, you there?
Good morning.
Jacquie,
yes,
good morning.
I'm here. Good morning.
Jacquie, it's Brad. You're on the air. I just want to make sure you know that. So, when you go off on a tirade and start yelling at me and saying bad things about me.
Never.
Yeah, never. You are, what's your official title with Habitat for Humanity?
I am the Director of Development.
Director of Development. You're the lady that's going out and trying to shake the trees for cash, essentially, right?
Yes.
One way of putting it. I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm involved with you. We are trying to help promote your event, which happens tomorrow. This is the Over the Edge event, and this is the first time you've done this, correct?
That is correct.
Now, what we want to promote today is two things. And first off, why don't you give everybody background on the event and what's going on tomorrow?
So tomorrow we are going over the edge for Habitat, and the proceeds from this will help to support the Haven Point project, which is taking place in Wentzville, Missouri. This is quite an undertaking for us. This is the first time that we have built on such a large scale. We are building a 46-home subdivision in Wentzville.
So, I was going to say, all of the homes in the subdivision are all Habitat for Humanity homes, correct?
They will. We're kind of a subdivision within a subdivision, and there are a number of subdivisions within this, but it's right there on the corner of Scotty Road and Huntley Drive.
Now,
but yes.
Tomorrow's event is Over the Edge, and a lot of people have signed up earlier, and essentially what it takes is you have to get $1,000 worth of donations. You can put together a team and things like that, and then you get to go over the edge. But two things, and I want to bring this up because I'm trying to help you guys out. People can still sign up today, correct?
Absolutely, they can. As a matter of fact, we take walk-ups if they want to experience going over the edge. And so we're going over the edge of the Embassy Suites Hotel. They're next to the St. Charles Convention Center. And so our first rappel, as a matter of fact, you're going to be one of our first rappellers. You're on rope number one. And so individuals will be able to sign up the day of and be able to rappel that afternoon. And we're going over 13 stories. 13
stories down the edge. Now, there's a home show going on there, so you're hoping that maybe some of the people across the parking lot, and I've told you the story, I've been involved with these events before, Over the Edge, where we did the Hyatt Hotel, and we literally had people who were staying at the hotel go up to the desk and say, hey, how do I do that thing with the rope thing? Well, you have to donate $1,000. And they did. They pull out their credit card, and they went over the edge. The other aspect of this is people can go onto the website, and you gave me a specific link, oto636.org, and they can look for friends of theirs or just randomly select people and make donations to their pledges as well, too, correct?
Absolutely. We still have a few people who are looking to meet their $1,000 requirement, and so any help that they can receive will be a blessing.
And this all happens tomorrow, and for St. Charles. And is there just out of curiosity, is there a Habitat for Humanity in St. Louis City, St. Louis County? Are you separate from them, or is this all sort of the same group?
We are. Actually, we all operate under the umbrella of the international, Habitat for Humanity International. But we are St. Charles affiliate is one of 1,200 affiliates here in the U.S., and that also means that I have no idea how many affiliates that there are around the world.
And this was all started by our former president, Jimmy Carter.
No, everyone believes that.
It's not.
He certainly was. No.
That's what I thought.
No, and everyone does. The Habitat for Humanity actually it started out of a location called America's Georgia. And oh my gosh, now you're putting me on the spot because I can't remember the founder's name. But Jimmy Carter and his wife came on board and, of course, added that not celebrity, but helped to promote Habitat with the work that they were doing. But they were not the founders of the organization.
Well, I stand corrected because I thought he was the guy that started it. But
No,
that's
he's very instrumental.
That's why I call smart people like you to help dumb people like me who are on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's so funny because he has been the face of the organization for so long that people did believe that. And it's just like, here's another misnomer. People believe that Habitat gives away homes, and that is far from the truth. The individuals who will be partner families with us are individuals who, just like you and I, pay a mortgage, would also pay a mortgage. They have to meet 4 requirements just to even get started with that process to be considered. But yeah, we don't give away homes. Families pay a mortgage just like we do.
Interesting. Okay, tomorrow the event, the website, you can still go there, and if you want to sign up, you can get a team together quickly or something like that. OTE636.org. And I think what you said, if you go on the website, you can go through the various participants, and if somebody's at $900 and $80,000, you could donate like $100 or something like that to people to get them over the top to go over the edge. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Jacquie, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm glad you let me be a part of this. There aren't too many people that let me help them out with things. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
well, no, this has been a blessing for us, and thank you very much for the opportunity to come on to your show and talk about Habitat and the things that we're doing.
Great. Appreciate it, Jacquie.
And the impact that we're having.
Yep.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Very nice lady, John. Super nice lady. And, were you dumb like me and thought that was a Jimmy Carter thing that he started it?
I didn't know who started it, Brad. I mean, I certainly associate him with swinging a hammer and encouraging amateurs to wire some electric in houses. But yeah, I didn't know that he didn't found it.
Well, the interesting thing, John, is that I'm surprised John didn't make his famous Herb Kelleher pitch where he said that Herb would show up on Thanksgiving, and when the PR photographer would get there, Herb would pick up a bag and load it onto the baggage cart and then take it off the conveyor belt and put it into the plane, and after being there for 3 minutes, dust his fingers off and say, okay, time for turkey, and leave and go have his turkey dinner.
Yeah, and then saps of the world who don't know better would spread for years on television. I love Herb Kelleher. He used to go out on Thanksgiving and load bags all day. No, he didn't.
John.
And yes, Brad, for the weekend, I'd love to talk about the fact that tomorrow at 10 a.m., right here on Westplex Talk 104.5, you can listen to The Farm Show. That's Farm and Ranch, Missouri. Farmers are facing a tough time, Brad. Really declining commodity prices, rising input prices. And the good folks at NCGA had an event yesterday in Washington, D.C., to talk about the state of the farm economy and maybe some things that might help farmers. Folks can hear that in the C block on tomorrow's show. We'll also have updates about Missouri farm and ranch events. We'll also hear about a new soybean disease that's infesting Warren County starting last week. Thanks for the opportunity to mention that, Brad.
And John, the interesting thing about that is, I've told you this before, I've listened to your show almost entirety every time it's been on. I learn a lot from your show. You've got a lot of interesting stuff in there. And
well, thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. And I do appreciate that, Brad. And the show is aimed at folks who are actually part of the farm and ranch community or who are in agribusiness. So the show is not designed for the average consumer. And that's not who I design and produce the show for. But I do think that folks who listen who aren't even involved in agriculture could learn something, for sure.
But not only this year, you talked about how the farmers had a tough go, at least in the area. It's been super dry. And
it's been horrible, Brad. And if you go by, I was just talking to the kids about this yesterday. When you drive by, for example, when you take 364 and you get off at Harvester, there's a bunch of beautiful cropland right there. This year it happens to be in corn. and the corn is already in dry down. There's no green on the corn. And usually you might see that in October because the corn is in senescence. The corn is naturally dying off and drying down. But this year, it's just because of the drought, Brad. The corn looks like it should be the first week of November and not mid-September.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this is if you drive up and down Highway 79, where you had a lot of the sod farms, you know what I'm talking about? If you go up 79 north of 70, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know that. I do know what you're talking about, yeah.
The sod farmers have had a tough year, and not only that, the lawn landscaping people, typically in September, that's what they call the renovation month, where you have your guy come out and you do the core aeration, you do overseeding and stuff like that. It's gotten really tough because most people's lawns, since most people are using cool season grasses, most people's lawns are still dormant because of the fact they're still burnt out by the heat, which we've had for the past 4 days again. You know, it's not like it's going away.
And I know a suburban, let's just say she's someone who gets her lawn contracted out, but she's gone, her lawn service allows her to, choose the every 2 weeks option. And she's gone to that because she's like, my grass isn't growing. And like a month ago, they came and cut her grass. And she asked me what I thought she should do. And I said, tell him to come every 2 weeks. Like, your grass isn't growing.
Right. And to the point where there are some people's lawns that every 3 weeks would probably be okay.
Yeah, I think so, Brad.
We've had it. And that's really sort of sad because, like I said, September is usually, if you really take care of your lawn, you know this, John, September is the month where, because what you want to do is you want to get, especially if you're overseeding, you want to get those roots starting to form in the ground, and they will essentially become more stronger over the winter months. And then when you hit the spring, your grass is already on the good side of moving forward and developing a really strong root system and nice green tall grass and stuff like that. But it sucks. And you know what? Thank heaven that this happened for me where my lawnmower built up, because I haven't cut my grass at the transmitter site since, the 25th of August?
So, yeah, that's exactly when it was, right. Brad. The great lawnmower of frying Brad incident. Now, Brad, have you decided, are you junking that, or are you going to dump a lot more time and resources into a machine that clearly hates you?
Well, if I can find, what I'm going to do is, and I don't want to get in the weeds, but it's got a Kubota gas engine. I'm going to try to find the identical engine, the same engine block they make as a diesel. But the problem is the diesels are super expensive. I mean, a new diesel is like $9,000 for a new diesel engine. A good used one is like $3,500. I don't know what I'm going to do. And one of the problems is not only did the motor burn up, but there's all sorts of damage. One of the pumps, which cost about $1,200, is damaged as well too. And not only that is when the fire went through there, it burnt up all the hydraulic hoses, which means I'd probably have to take it all apart, flush all the hoses plus all the motors and the wheel motors and the pumps out to get all the garbage that got into the hydraulic fluid from the open hoses. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I was going to invite you over and see if we can work on it together. What do you think, John?
Yeah, if you saw my schedule for the weekend, you know not only why I wouldn't be attending Over the Edge 636 if you saw my schedule, but also the last thing I'm going to do is drive somewhere where you expect me to do any sort of manual labor.
Well, you could do
I would think that you would be able to contact the Lewis and Clark Historical Society and make the pitch that because Lewis and Clark totally landed on your area, Brad, they might be able to pitch in a new Kubota for you.
In the back of the properties where the Lewis and Clark latrine was.
Absolutely they did, yeah. Hey. And you have a little plaque there, right?
That's right. John, we're going to get out on time for a second. How's that? Say goodbye.
And I'll see you on Monday, Brad.